This is great, eh? Look at this.
You are not serious.
Janet always wanted to get into caving. G'day guys, welcome back to Life on the Mould. This week we're going to have a little bit of trailer sale of fun. Then I'm going to get in and tidy up all of the flanges on the hull by sanding them back and getting into the relamination of them. Then I'm going to complete the foredeck and do the last couple of layers on it before we get into the final layer on the hull. So welcome back, and it's time that we get into it. AMSA, Australian Maritime Safety Authority, require that every day that I do laminating that I check the relative humidity. Now I can go off the internet to do that, or I can use this thing. This is a, believe it or not, quite a very scientific thing. It's more like one of those things that you take to the carnival, but ratchet type, I don't know what you call them, thingamajig. But this has a dry temperature. And then this here, this small gauze cloth, and this one is a wet bulb. So it's actually called a sling psychrometer. And what it does, it reads relative humidity. Now it's not that easy to use. You've got to keep the reservoir here full of water. And currently we have a, oh man, it's hot in here. We have a 30-degree temperature inside the biodome here. And then I've got to swing this thing for a couple of minutes. And the idea is that we're getting evaporation off the that gauze cloth and feeding that other temperature, that other bulb, a wet or an evaporated temperature. And yeah, I keep swinging. And ultimately, once I've swung it for a minute or so, I should get a variance of dry and wet. I'll just bring it back here so you can hear me. Dry and wet temperature, and therefore the difference giving me the relative humidity. Bizarre, eh? But this is what you got to do. So we're here. We currently have a dry temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, a wet temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. So 24, so there's a 6-degree variance. And then over here, so you can't use this without this. This is my conversion table, so we'll have a bit of a look at that, eh? Okay, I bet you love them being this close to me. Here we have the dry bulb temperature here, so we've got 30 degrees C. We're at the limit of what we'd be wanting to laminate in. The important thing here though is humidity. I've got a 6-degree variance, so you simply come down here. We have a relative humidity of 61% saturation, so it feels a lot more humid than that today, I'll tell you, but that is the real humidity, and I'm not allowed to read that off the internet. I must read it off this psychrometer as a way of gauging the humidity before I laminate. You can find them on the net. Anyone wanting to do any laminating, really advisable you buy one of these. This was about 180 Australian dollars, believe it or not. I probably could have bought it in Toy Kingdom for about $4. Not even that. but I guess because it's got boat written on it, and it is a scientific instrument, you know, just add 4,000%. I cannot recommend enough building a boat with a chine, guys. This chine has been the most useful thing because I'm 3 or 4 foot up off the whole floor, around about where the sole is, and I'm able to work there because I've got a hard chine to work on. I'm standing on the chine on the chamfer panel and the one on the hull. Nice thing is I've got a perfect step to stand here. If I didn't, I'd be 10 foot down the hull, reaching up above my head the whole way. And I've got a bit of a shoulder problem at the moment, so really nice to work at eye level. You can see here, all these rough bits that I haven't consolidated down. So I'm not actually doing a fine sand here. I'm trying to grind the bastards off so that I don't rip my frickin' hands open on them. So the trick is to get them nice and smooth so that I can do a perfect layer up over the top. So very, very important that you keep all the dags and everything under control and meticulously work them down flat. Give it a light sand with some sandpaper, about 80 grit, and then you're ready to glass again. We'll make sure you wipe it with styrene first. So, but back to grinding. see right here, this is sort of what I've been grinding at, and it's looking a little bit messy, but with a simple tidy up, you know, basically I've been able to take all those dags off it. I'll give it a few extra layers of, or one extra layer of quadraxial to make up for all the damage I've done with the grinder. But you'll notice right here, this spot here is where one of the purlins that's holding the hole size in was when I started glassing. But you know, I've got 2 layers of 300 there, got a full on 6 layers or so to go on there. But yeah, nice and neat now, and I'm ready for glass, for putting some more glass on. And the nice thing is then I'll have a nice consolidated flange. You can see here right up on the bridge deck, right up on the bow, we've chamfered the foam down. We're now ready for about 6 more layers of quadraxial on the 4-beam here, and yeah, that basically will consolidate that down. You'll notice right up here, yeah, basically where this porta bathroom is, it's a little bit how you're going. So we need to make sure that we get that nice and neat. Okay, a lot of the time when you're working on these sort of projects, it's all about the preparation. So I tend to spend a lot of time cutting cloth, getting it almost exactly how I need it prior to any sort of work. So what you're actually seeing me do when you see the time lapses is probably about probably about 20 to 25% of the actual work that's involved by placing it, cutting it correctly, and obviously economically laying the cloth, because you don't want to be wasting cloth. I tend to be able to save a lot. I end up with a lot of small offcuts like this particular piece that really can be used in a lot of areas. So by taking the time, you do end up with a very accurate job, and then I'm able to come back and complete the job relatively quickly. So it's important to get this overlap. There's a 8 centimetre and then the flange overlap that we need to do with the 1200 watt. So that's what we're doing here. So I guess by now you realise how much I love my gun. I mean, I don't have to mix a single litre of resin, and by using that gun system, I've just been able to minimise waste, minimise my cleanup, and just apply the stuff immediately and exactly the same every single time. So if you're going to invest in anything, invest in a good spray system. And you know, and the machine that I have and the gun system I have is just top quality. It is about 35 degrees in here, so it's a pretty hot day, and this suit's starting to really piss me off. And you can see by the look on my face, I'm not happy at the moment. I'm pretty hot. So that's it, I'm done. Have a little break, and I'll do a bit more this Saab. So I've now tidied up all of this flange here. This is all nice and neat. It's all ready. There's only one more layer to go on that, and I've just put a foam core along the 4-beam here. 30mm foam, which is rebated back. This is going to have 3 extra layers of quad on it just to beef up my 4-beam. But yeah, it's basically ready to glass. I'll just give it a quick sand back and get in and glass this and basically complete this foredeck.
So finally, the last 2 layers required on the bridge deck up here, up on the foredeck. 1 layer of 600 double bias, and this is, as I mentioned earlier, quite difficult to lay out once the substrate's wet. So what I tend to do is lay it out, get it all shaped and cut to size, and then I come in and wet out and just make sure that I roll it effectively and putting the 300 CSM layer directly on top to complete it, and that tends to soak up any excess resin. Pretty happy with the result. It takes a bit of time to get this exactly right, and this has been a pretty monumental effort for a one-man show, and with the occasional bit of help. So I'm very, very happy with the result, and it's a beautiful, neat finish that I've got on my bridge deck.
Okay, so fearing getting roasted, I've just spent the last day putting on this 4-bow Bimini on the back of our little trailer sail. We're not going to be able to sail with this in place, but what you don't realise with these Biminis, if you decide to shorten them, I need to go from about 130 centimetres to about 100 centimetres, just so nice low protection. To get the boom over the top, I need to shorten it, but you need to cut down every single one of these bows and rejoin them, and because they're crimped and riveted, you can see here I've had to drill, shorten, chop, and then re-bolt it all back together. This sort of crimping and riveting idea sounds like a great idea for mass production, but doesn't make it very modifiable, so I'd have to say it's taken me pretty much a full day just to get it all right in the right proportions. But yeah, it's actually going to work a treat, to be honest. It'll give us a ton of shade, and we've got a pop top as well. This is great, eh? Look at this.
You are not serious.
Janet always wanted to get into caving. Speleunka. Hey. She loves it in these tight little spots. Did you take your spanner with you?
Oh God, I'm going to... No, can you give me it, please?
Here. So it's got to have a washer, a bonded washer, and then a nut. Can you do that? Because I just no way I'm going in there. So Janet is currently underneath the deck, doing a few little modifications on this little trailer sail that we've got. And there's quite a lot of fun happening here, because it's taken us an hour to do up 4 nuts. But I'm sure you all know what that feels like, hey Jan? Right there. Cleat installed. That was like a 2-hour argument for a cleat. Freaking hell. God help us if we build a yacht. Oh, we are building a yacht. I know. I'll get you out. Put your legs in underneath. That's it. Pretty close quarters, isn't it? It's like a little cubby house.
It is not like a cubby house.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
It's like I was dreaming of a cubby house like this when I was a kid. I would have loved a little hole like that to get into.
Yeah, but when I was 5, so would I.
I can now see why our mate El Niebauer suggested that you never try to do anything out on the water. We've never tried to do any outfitting because we're struggling doing it on dry land, aren't we, hun? Janet's struggling with me, really. That's the truth.
Righto, so you've made it through another week with me, guys. I had to put that last 2 minutes on because it's just gold. The trials and tribulations of outfitting any sort of boat, be it a trailer sailor right up to a larger boat, particularly with your partner when it's hot and you haven't got the right tools and all those things. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, we got the job done in the end, and we've been enjoying that little trailer sailor for about 5 months now. So it's a great little boat, and you can expect to see quite a lot more of the restoration process as I go forward. I'm just going to add little snippets to make it to break up the variety of the mold tedium. Okay. At the end of the last video, I mentioned that I'd come across a couple of opportunities that may interest 1, 2, or even 3 of you out there, or even a number of you. Through YouTube, I've come across a lot of blokes, a lot of people that in fact that are in the midst or towards the end, or even just beginning, or even contemplating beginning a similar project to mine. As a result, I've come across an opportunity that somebody may wish to purchase an unfinished kit version, an unfinished almost completed version, or even a mould of a particular catamaran. Now, I've just come back from Queensland, went up there last weekend and spent a bit of time with with the owner of these particular projects. Now, the story is that he has put a hell of a lot of work into this project, and what happens is, and I can totally understand this, is that when you get busy, business and family can simply take over these projects, and then the daunting task of even getting started again once you've put so much work in can start to impede the progress. So where he is at currently is he is currently just purchased a beautiful boat. I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful catamaran, and it's a fully functioning in-survey catamaran. And as a result, there is an unfinished complete kit of a particular 57-foot performance catamaran. Plus he has the mold for it as well. So and at the end of that as well, there is also another almost completed catamaran that sits on the hard at the moment. So I'm very excited about this, because if it had been me 2 years ago, I definitely would have jumped on 1 or even 2 of these opportunities, because this particular boat is just magnificent and can be a dream maker for an avid young boat builder like myself, or even you. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, over the next video or 2, I'm going to actually introduce you to this particular project, have a bit of a discussion about it, and just go off track a little bit, because I think it's all about inspiring someone to do what I'm doing. I mean, it's funny how many people just look at me and shake their head, but so many others are actually inspired to take on a small project, be it a trailer sailor or a boat restore, or even, a big yacht. I would love to see someone get what they deserve out of a project like what is coming up. So I suggest you tune in over the next few videos and share it out. If you know anyone that's ever contemplated buying, building, starting a project like this, then Life on the Mold is going to have a pretty serious angle on this over the next couple of episodes. So please like the video, please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on Life on the Mold.